You've just spawned on the coast. In DayZ, every new life starts facing north. That means east is on your right, west on your left. And the sea is behind you, to the south. You are cold, hungry, and completely lost. You don't recognize this place, and you have got no idea where to go or what to do. So, let's see how to turn this into a proper start. Our first goals are simple. Figure it out where we are, find a knife, get some food, and track down nearest water well. But often, the first thing in your way are the infected. Or zombies if you want. Once a zombie spots you, just raise your hands with the right mouse button and start walking backwards. When the zombie finishes its attack, swing slightly above its head while holding left shift for a heavy attack. Now, this little plus icon means that the zombie has something you can loot. A pepper, that's nice. If you find any food and your energy indicator isn't full, just eat it right away. Especially in the beginning, it's smart to eat your food quickly. It frees up space in your tiny starting inventory. And if you die, at least you haven't wasted it. That brings me to your status indicators. Those icons in bottom right corner. From left to right. Water, energy, temperature, blood, and health. Burlap sack. That's actually a solid find. We'll use it later to craft a pretty decent backpack. There are also temporary status icons that come and go. Things like illness, fracture, bleeding, or even stuffed stomach warning. But for now, just focus mainly on water and energy. Everything else is secondary, because if you keep those two high enough, your immune system can do its job properly. When punching, you don't have to use heavy attacks every time, and the zombie will fall eventually. Perfect, we just found a knife. That's one of the first things you should look for. It doesn't have to be a proper knife either. A sickle, crowbar, screwdriver, anything with a sharp edge will do. You will need it to make racks, start fires, or gut animals later on. Looks like this zombie had a backpack. We'll take it. Just remember, the more stuff you carry, the heavier you get, and that means less stamina. Yeah, your stamina bar is on the bottom left. It drains when you sprint, swing a weapon, or climb fences. The more loot you carry, the slower you get, and the less stamina you have. So don't carry more than you need early on. This one also had 6 racks. That's great. Let's make some hand wraps real quick. You always want your hands protected. Not just for punching, but as a protection against cuts while gathering wood, for sliding down ladders, or dealing with raw meat and blood without getting infected. If you don't have any gloves or hand wraps and your hands get bloody, you'll need to wash them before eating. For just washing your hands, any water source will work. But don't drink from anything other than well, unless you want to gamble with your health. At the start, if you have space, just take everything. You never know what might come in handy later. And don't worry, you can always drop stuff once your inventory fills up. Now, whenever I find extra clothing, and I've already got a blade, I cut it up for racks. Once you have 2 stacks of 6 racks, you can craft a rope. You can also make a rope from the guts of larger animals. Or other people. I know, it's grim, but that's DayZ. If you don't need something, just drop it or throw it away. For throwing, hit G, hold left click and let it go. Just a heads up, whatever you throw makes a sound on impact. That can be used to distract zombies or maybe even bait careless player. Just like you don't need to keep every item, you also don't need to loot every house. On the coast, it's actually better to stick mostly to the buildings on your way to the well. Yes, we are trying to find a well, but But we still don't know exactly where we are, and that's a problem we have to solve. But before that, I want to show you one simple trick how to get blade early every time. You can craft a stone knife from small stones. Look for them along dirt roads, trails or railway tracks. If nothing's showing up, just pick up direction and jog a few hundred meters. Then turn back and walk the same path again. Sooner or later you will get lucky. These stones spawn in places where players are or were just recently. Once you have got your first small stone, you will need a second one, or just find a bigger rock nearby to craft a stone knife. This one here is perfect. Now, obviously, we don't need that many knives, but usually you won't get this lucky and stone knife can be your only option. If you have got screwdriver, crowbar, wrench, or even a meat mallet, you can use those to chip off a stone from a bigger rock too. Pretty much anything with a solid edge will do the trick. Ah, finally, a city sign. Can't you read it? Don't worry, me neither. It's the Cyrillic alphabet. Just open esurvive.com or the eSurvive app and type in whatever letters you can make out. Even a rough guess usually gets you close enough. Chernarus. So, the sea is on our right and we are just entering a town. That probably puts us in the southern part of Chernarus. Somewhere here. Look. There's that gas station. That means we are right about here. Right now, we've got a blade. Actually few. Some food, and we know where we are and where the nearest well is. So, let's go to the well. Yes, in DayZ, wells are the safest way to drink. You can purify other water with chlorine tablets, but honestly, I've almost never needed to. Now, whenever possible, try to avoid zombies altogether. But sometimes one's in your way and it surprises you. If you have got any kind of sharp object, you can deal with it quietly. Just crouch, move slow, and try to get behind it. If it hasn't seen you yet, you've got a good chance at silent takedown. It doesn't always work, but when it does, it drops the zombie instantly and without alerting the others. Every piece of clothing you find has different stats. It gives different inventory space and provides various insulation. If you find clothing with more slots or better warmth, just swap it. But remember to move your gear first. With weapons, check them right away. Is there a round in the chamber? This shotgun is pretty basic, but it's got one shell ready. It's also a good habit to assign your weapons to number keys. That way you can draw them quickly without opening your inventory. And watch your character. If they start shivering, it means you are cold. With a weak immune system, this can turn quickly into sickness. The Sushanka, for example, doesn't look great, but for now, I'm keeping it. We are not here to win a fashion show, but trying to survive, right? Ooh, we just got lucky. Found a plastic bottle. It's great for quicker drinking and lets you carry extra water for later. Here's something very important. Whenever you pick up any kind of water container, empty it first. Doesn't matter if it looks clean, never trust what's inside. Once it's empty, then it's safe to fill it at a well and drink. Ah, here's the well. And here comes a zombie. Remember, you don't have to fight every zombie. If one's on your tail, just run into the building and shut the door behind you. Zombies can't open doors. Just make sure all other doors are closed too. As you have probably noticed, zombies react mostly to the sight, but they can hear you too. Taking a few hits now and then is normal. But keep in mind that every hit can cause bleeding. And every hit also wears down your clothes or armor, if you are wearing any. 2 cuts and bleeding. These zombies have head protection, so they don't go down as quickly. And see how the edges of the screen are getting dark? That means you are going into shock. Take a few more hits like that and you might pass out on the spot. But once you are clear, patch yourself up, grab your bandages and stop bleeding. Alright, let's fill the bottle and get hydrated. If you didn't have container, you could drink straight from the well using your hands, but that takes much longer. With bottle, you can drink while moving and keep an eye out, because wells are kind of hotspots, and you never know who might show up. In general, stay vigilant. You don't have to be paranoid, but always scan your surroundings. It's easy to get caught slipping when you feel safe. This piece of clothing here, perfect for making more rags. Remember, we are saving up to make a rope. What's that? A chicken. Get close before it starts to run. One well-timed heavy swing, and you've got yourself a solid meal. Later, in a safer spot, you can use knife to cut it up. You will get meat, feathers and bones. Meat for food, bones to craft a bone knife or fishing hooks, and feathers are only used for making crossbow bolts. So now we are in the good spot. We've got a blade, actually several. We've got food, water, decent clothing and proper backpack. From here, you could just put the sea behind you and start heading inland. But I want to show you a few more things, just in case you get really unlucky and find no backpack, no food, no weapon at this point in the game. Yes, finally. Now we've got 2 stacks of 6 rags. That means we can craft a rope. Once you make a rope, pick it up in your hands and you will see the option to craft a rope belt. It lets you store one of your knives. Just a note, it doesn't work with stone or bone knives. And of course, you can always untie it back into rope later if you need it. Now, we are going to take our biggest risk since spawning. We are heading to the police station. It's a high traffic spot. A lot of players go there, hoping to find weapons, ammo or gear. And unfortunately, some just like to camp inside and wait. We are after weapons and ammo too, sure. But the real reason to go to the police station this early in the game is the armor. There are few types of body protection in DayZ. The stab vest is the most common and easiest to find. There is also better press vest and the best one, the plate carrier. But those are much rarer on the coast, and the plate carrier is usually found only in military areas. Here, if you don't feel like fighting a zombie, just lure it into any space you can close off. This works even with a small group of zombies. Just don't trap yourself. And there it is. Police station. This is how it looks like in bigger towns. And look at that. Our first police zombie. Even better, it's wearing that stab vest we are after. Important tip here. Don't use a knife on it. And aim only for the head, so you don't damage the vest. Because I don't want to leave the body on the street, as it might tip off other players while I'm still searching inside. I'll lure it somewhere out of sight, and then land the final hit. Alright, with the vest on, I've got some basic protection. Something that could save my life later. It's time to search the building. When I enter a place like this, I always close all the outer doors that lead to the street to keep stray zombies out. And if another players come in, I will hear it. Your search should be thorough but quick. Nice. We found a better shotgun, but I don't need two, so I will unload this one with double pressing R and then drop it. For quick dropping in general, just hold Ctrl and left click. This new shotgun already has 2 shells. I will load the third one manually by holding R. Be extra careful on the stairs. Grab any ammo or mags you find, even if you don't have use for them yet. You never know what kind of weapon you will come across later. Once you are done looting, get out fast. But don't rush blindly. Check for ambushes on the way out. It actually might be safer to leave through the same back door you came in. As you may have noticed, I'm not running with my gun out all the time, especially on the coast. Why? I don't want to deprive myself of chance to make friends. I know, it may sound weird, naive even. But if I'm not up in the north, in a military area, or expecting trouble, I just keep my guns hidden. Now, buildings like this one are great for trapping zombies. If you ever get swarmed, leading them inside and closing the doors behind you can save your life. Fighting 1 zombie is easy. 2, usually manageable, but 3 or more that can end your run fast. This one here had a handmade bag crafted from pelt and rope. You can use it as it is or break it down with a knife to get the materials back. It's a good thing we have that rope from before, so now I can keep my belt and still show you how to fish. But first, let's head to the nearby hospital. Because right now, we've got everything except some backup bandages and basic medicine. Stuff that can save your life later. This is hospital. In my experience, the inside is often picked clean. But if you check nearby buildings, garages, cars, even sheds, you've got a good chance of finding medical supplies. Same goes for police stations and military buildings. The loot spills into surroundings, and you often end up finding more outside than in the main building. Now that we are covered there, let's learn how to fish. Fishing is one of the best ways to get food in DayZ. It's quiet, it doesn't attract infected, and you can do it almost anywhere. Sea, river, pond, even a little creek is enough. And all you need is a rope, a long stick, and a blade to craft the hook and dig worms as a bait. Start by combining the rope and long stick to make your fishing rod. But you need a hook. Just grab a short stick and craft 2 out of it. Then you need a bait. If you have got pickaxe or hoe, dig it with that. It's quicker and won't wear down your blade. Otherwise, use any knife to dig up worms. Once you have got everything, look at the water and start fishing. It might take a minute, but you will catch something eventually. Early morning or late evening works best, but honestly, it doesn't matter that much. Just be patient and wait for the bite. Once you see and hear that you've got a bite, just release the left mouse button for a moment and then quickly hold it down again. That simulates yanking the line and basically setting the hook. Keep holding until the entire animation ends and the sound stops. If you let go too early, you might lose the fish. This one here is carp. It's only half full, I'm not sure why, but still, it's plenty of food and it will do just fine. Now, you shouldn't eat it raw. There is a big chance you'll get sick. Plus, all food in DayZ gives more value when it's cooked or baked. You could build a campfire outside, but it's risky and you would have to cook each piece one by one. Instead, I look for a quiet house with a fireplace stove, like this one. Perfect. First, cut up the carp with your knife. Next, we need a fire. I have a lighter that I found earlier, but I want to show you how to do it without matches or lighter, just in case. We will craft a hand drill kit. For that, you need one small stick and one piece of bark. You can break a long stick into small ones and use your knife to harvest the bark from the tree. Combine the stick and the bark, and you got it, your hand drill kit. Now, here's an extra tip. You only need one piece of bark to ignite the fire and cook everything. I know, it doesn't make sense in the real world, but here, just put the bark in the stove to create a fireplace. Place your meat inside, then use the hand drill kit to light it up. And if you have no bark, it's no problem. You can use rag or sheet of paper instead. This setup has a couple big advantages. First, you don't need to gather a ton of firewood. And second, that's maybe even more important, since the fire burns out quickly, the meat will cooking on embers only, without constant smoke pouring out of chimney, because that smoke is what gives away your position. So the faster it dies down, the better. With this method, you stay hidden and still get the full meal. Now, while the meat is cooking, let's break down our fishing rod. Don't forget to remove the hook first, and by doing this, we get our rope back. With the rope and burlap sack, we can now craft a burlap courier bag. Oh, I almost forget. Make sure to check on your steaks. Once that raw label disappears, pull them out right away. They can burn fast, and burned meat is basically wasted. We'll take the food, and even though it's still too hot to eat, it will help warm up our body while we carry it. Our burlap bag already have plenty of space. But if we add 3 small sticks, we can upgrade it even further. And honestly, it looks great too. Slim profile, stealth colors, it's perfect. And that's it. In under an hour, we managed to figure it out where we are, craft a knife, find the food, get hydrated, pick up some decent gear, and cook enough to last the next day or two. Of course, every run will be different. Your spawn, the weather, what you find or don't find, it all changes. But now you've got the knowledge to survive, and maybe even help someone else along the way. In DayZ, survival isn't about never dying. It's about learning from every life you lose. And if you die, don't worry. Each new spawn is a chance to start afresh and maybe last a little longer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.